Knock, knock, who's there?
Dick's nuts! Dick's nuts!
Knock, knock, who's there?
Dick's nuts! Dick's nuts!
Oh, come on, Dick, with a sweet, savory nuts, with a warm finish. Knock, knock, who's there?
Dick's nuts! Dick's nuts!
Welcome to beautiful Kamloops, British Columbia. Dick's Nuts brewing since 2023. Original, sweaty, and sweet. Who's there?
Dick's nuts! Dick's nuts! Dick's nuts! Dick's nuts!
Knock, knock, who's there?
Dick's nuts! Dick's nuts!
Sweet and savory nuts, with a warm finish and touch. Knock, knock,
Who's there? Dick's nuts! Dick's nuts!
Put 'em in your mouth and chew 'em.
Meta, formerly known as Facebooks. Come on, folks, check out your local mom and pop shops up in Kamloops, British Columbia. You can order them delicious. Dick's Nuts.
Four, 3, 2, 1, get old's no fun. Yeah, we drink and I toke. He smokes and I drink. We don't care. We fight for our right to get home alive, and we don't care. Bullshit aside, it's time to go live. Yeah, we don't care. People won't cause. Should we go too far? Yeah, we don't care. Yeah, we don't really care. He drinks and I toast. In pain and I quote. Yeah, we don't really care. Smoking and drinking, yakking and thinking, we don't care.
Woo! Oh, yeah, there, Dr. Ryan. How you doing? Oh, we're all alive. Oh, thank the good Lord, I tell you. Woo, second in the 70s. Yeah. 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 Okay, folks, today is April 29th, 2025, and it's a Wednesday, and it's pretty gloomy out there. Oh, it looks sunny anyways, but...
yeah, that's sunny. It's
yeah,
nice.
and you're coming in a little hot there, like you're always bugging Uncle Marco, but you're listening to the Mark and Ryan Shorebrothers podcast, sponsored by Dick's Nuts. Come on, knock, knock, who's there, kid? Anyways, I like that one, but what else we got to talk about here? Anyways, okay, I'm done with the applause. I shouldn't be giving you a round of applause anyways. How you doing, Ryan?
Oh, you should be giving me a round of applause. I predicted the future.
Oh, hey, you remember what I texted you yesterday? This is good. You know what? You do have a future if you sit in front of a liquor store there with a little beret, like those little avant-garde berets, like those little Frenchy guys wear.
I have one. I wear it all the time with DC top.
You should wear that, because you know what? You could sit there with your crystal ball and be the garden gnome with a little sign, unemployed. I can read the future. Hold on a second.
I'll say, guess what?
Yeah, let's make them dizzy. Yeah, let's make them dizzy. Yeah. Okay, enough of that shit. Let's go there. Yeah. Yeah, Tabernacle.
I'll just tell people they're about to pay more for their booze, that's all.
Yeah, well, we're going to get into that there. We don't want to ruin that there, because did you get a hold of Bonito?
No. Call him in a little bit, bro.
You just don't give a shit. Eh? He's like, you're like a mime. Eh? No,
he's either gonna pick up or he won't.
Well, listen, we don't have the 4 horse. Oh yeah, we got to. Oh yeah, so you got your little bell there. We got to give Mr. Colorado a send off there. He went in the deep cover, and you know what? He's gone. I think he's expired. So we're just going to give see you later, Mr. Colorado. Rest in pieces, okay?
Yeah, he'll be back.
Oh, he won't. Don't worry about that. Uncle Marco knows he's gone. It's like Jimmy T. Okay, the monks got him there in the forest there. He's just like, we will be doing another episode. There will be take 2, part 2 there of what do you call that again? There, Dr. Ryan?
BC Triangle.
Yeah. So there's a lot more people going missing, and it's I haven't watched it on the old YouTube there, but yeah, a lot of people have been going missing, so there's a lot of new episodes. So it's kind of bizarre, but we'll get into that another time. But today Venus ingressed Aries, and the moon is in Cancer, and And we are in Taurus season right
Fuck
now.
cancer.
Oh yeah, I know cancer sucks, but we are in Taurus season, which is good. It's a nice change, and astrologically speaking, I believe they're all saying that we're going to get a reprieve from all this crazy energy in May. There's still going to be some stuff going on, but it's going to be a big change in May, which is I'm looking forward to it. And the full moon in May is in Scorpio on May 12th. It'll sting you, yeah, Scorpio. But anyways, so that's the astrological weather right now. I'm too lazy and too fat and getting older. But guess what? Guess what I'm not doing? Guess what I'm not doing right now? Another residual from 1989. Oh yeah, sucking in the 70s. Yeah. Woo! I'm slurping on my coffee, and I got my blood pressure's coming down. The machine's working great, and this is all a process for Uncle Marco, and Dr. Ryan's going to help him out there, and he's going to fix Uncle Marco up there. But I don't think anybody really can.
Nope, it's mostly on you, bro.
It's okay, just like you. Just keep eating that Wonder Bread. Every time I see it, I'm going to smack it out of your hands. There's a lot of sugar. Wonder Bread, boy. I'm going to get you a cape with that Wonder Bread. I want a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Well, maybe you should try some whole wheat bread there, bud.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, don't come at
anything's okay in moderation.
Don't come at not when you got what you got. No, you got to stop. Sorry, no more Wonder Bread. Anyways, you come at Uncle Marco. He's pretty vicious. He stores all that information, and he's going to get you. He's going to get you.
Maybe I should just make peanut butter and jam balls.
Old man, baby, he's going to get you. The old man, baby, he's going to get you. Yeah, so anyways, we had some fun there, but tit for tat there, there, kid. But we'll see if I got to go to that stankin' place that employs us today, but I doubt it if I'm going, but we'll see what happens with that. Maybe I'll crack a fucking, a nice grosh. I don't know, I got two there staring me. Every time I open the fridge, they go, drink me. I go, nope. And maybe today when I open the fridge, okay, I'll partake. We'll see.
I think I've had enough booze for a little while.
Well, yeah, we're going to talk about it. So this episode, folks, it's called the wrap up, and there's a whole bunch of wrapping up to do here, like in a box and a Christmas present. And with the election the other night, it was a bad Christmas present for me. So we're going to get into that, and let's talk about your show there, because it reminded me back in the early '90s, late '80s, when I used to go to the town pump, and I seen these people in pink tutus singing to a squid at a microphone, and when you showed me that pictures, that brought back memories.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
One of our singers wears a baby blue balaclava.
Yeah, well, I'm sure it was very entertaining, Ryan. But you know what? Thanks for not inviting me.
Yeah,
it's not my.
I don't think you would have liked it.
No, I think I would have started rioting. There would have been a chair in my hands. There would have been a riot.
There was a lot of girls in attendance at first.
Yeah, and then they left.
At the end, they were gone.
Oh, I bet they were. But yeah, why don't you just give us a quick synopsis of what went down over there? Because I didn't see it. I seen you walking into that stankin' place we go to. I mean, Mr. Colorado. Oh, sorry, I didn't say that. And we go, look at him. He doesn't look very good.
No, that was 2 days of partying with the Puck Crew.
There you go.
It was Potsy, a.k.a. Leo Warner's 50th birthday on Sunday, so we all got together the Friday night and fucking pretty much drank everything in my house. The drummer, Kenny K, was all like, oh, if you guys don't fucking party tomorrow, you're all a bunch of squares, whatever.
No.
And then he showed up at the gig, and was he drinking? No, not a drink.
That a boy. Good for him.
I was like, what happened, bro?
You know what happened?
Ugh.
I know what happened. He took Uncle Marco's 100-day challenge.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, kid. What's wrong with you? Where's your sense of humor, Tabernacle? Let's go. Come on.
So our bass player, the D, was decked out in a t-shirt and these like cougar shorts.
I kind of see the picture.
And a hockey mask.
Yeah,
but as the show went on, he ended up with no shirt, hockey mask, and a leopard print Speedo.
So that type of music. I'm gonna ask you a question. Like, I know you're into the punk scene when you're younger. So I mean, obviously, is this where this whole project, that project of yours came from? Is basically is it punk based? Punk based?
It was hip hop based.
But it's a spin of like, well, I heard a little bit of it, but I can hear.
So they used heavy metal samples, and punk samples, And at the time when I met them in their late '90s, they had no band, right? So we were like, oh, we're all friends, and we kind of got together and made a set of live music, and it just kind of went from there.
Yeah, well, it's okay. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's just because it's just I can't get inside your guys' your groove, right? In your heads.
They're rappers first.
Yeah, it's just like I said. There's Uncle Mark. There's some, like I said, the music for me is for mood. So I can find something good in any kind of music, right? So when I listen, it might not be the whole song, but there might be a good part in any song. So I mean,
right.
That's so I look at that. It does. I don't cut down everything. It's like disco. Like I mean. Even like with disco and everybody back in the disco, you're, this and that. And then you know what? And then you get older and you listen back to it, go, hey, some of that was pretty good. So,
right.
Yeah.
Our DJ is amazing. Right now they're signed to Block Sonic, which is an East Coast record label.
Yeah.
And he's in a music video with Chuck D from Public Enemy, and he's cutting records for all sorts of old school rappers. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, right on. Well, like I said, it gives you just another, feather in your cap there with, you got BC Top, and then you had a reunion with these guys. So, yeah, you went out and had some.
Man.
You went and had
fucking laughed so much, dude. I haven't had that much fun in years.
Were you playing guitar?
Yeah.
You were playing guitar. Okay, so, you finally, which did you play the Gibson?
Yep.
Oh, that boy. It must have sounded pretty good. There you go. Awesome.
Yeah, it sounded great.
Awesome. Well,
the band was good. The rappers, not so much.
That's okay. You had some fun. Hold on. Well, maybe next time invite them over in front of the liquor store when you're, get your crystal ball. But moving on.
I wore my liquor store outfit from 1999.
Boy, but
my long sleeve pink shirt.
If you want to give them a plug, it's okay. You can do it anytime, Doctor. Right? But moving on from that.
And we have a song called Liquor Store. So.
Liquor Store. Hey, Liquor Store. Hey.
I was
going to ask you a question. I went outside there and I had to go get my Keno ticket, which hasn't been very, very good to me. But anyways, the mailman passed me, I seen an ICBC, a little envelope there in the mail, and I go, oh, shit.
Yeah, we get a little.
Well, no, I thought I got a speeding ticket, so I opened it up.
Yeah, so did I.
I got $110. That's, hey, man, that's going to put some gas in my truck, eh?
Everybody got $110.
Yeah, I'm just watching the ticker tape parade here. It's like I said, we're going to be wrapping up this is the post-election boredom there, like the morgue. So we're going to be
right.
We're going to be
autopsy.
Yeah, the autopsy. We're going to do the autopsy. That's a well put way of looking at it. But,
all right, let's get Sasha on here.
Let's go. Bonito, hey, come on now.
Bonito, I'll bleep
that's
that
his
out.
name, Bonito. Okay, we're not gonna. Maybe he's got his camera there, but why don't we break to a quick commercial break and then we'll be right back, folks. And we're gonna bring on Brother Bonito. But hey, get that little bell out if you got it there for Mr. Colorado, because he's done. Uncle Marco Land.
I thought we use a gong for that.
No, well, no, we want to gong some. No, when we want to gong somebody and get them off the program, we gong them. But, like in memory, like when they've gone missing or they've passed, like Jimmy T. So we're going to put it, we have a list of people that, we were dying to get on and they've passed. So, we got to give
Maybe we need like a chopper sound for him.
Yeah, well, you can do whatever you want, but give him the bell there, because you know what? See you later, Mr. Colorado. Once you rest in pieces there, eh? Hey, folks, we'll be right back on the Mark and Ryan podcast. Remember, our blues is your news. Hey, Ryan.
Welcome to Legends Sports Bar and Grill, in business since 1994, on the corner of Blundell and Garden City in beautiful Richmond, British Columbia. Check out the kitchen with a great menu and spectacular servers. Huge outdoor patio opening May 2025. Local and professional sports entertainment memorabilia. Remember, folks, it's Legends Pub. They're actually redonkulous.
Hello.
Hello. Who do you have on the line? Is this Walmart? Hello. Hello, Bonito. Where have you been?
Hello. I've been right here the whole time.
We've been sucking on the coffee, and me and Dr. Ryan were just doing the interlude to the episode, and now we're gonna wrap this up here. We want to. This is the. What did you call that? This is the autopsy.
The autopsy.
This is the autopsy of the election here, right? So this is very good, right? So Yeah, I guess I'll just do the intro here, and then we're going to go one by one. But we did make some predictions on the previous episode, and I'm going to let you guys go first. But I'm not very happy. I'm very disappointed about what happened, and the aftermath is going to be interesting. But I'm very glad that it was a minority, and I'm glad that Jagbeat's gone. Yeah, see you later, motherfucker. Tabernacle. I'm celebrating today, drinking beer. Oh yeah, you destroyed our country, you cocksucker. Good. Hey, rest in pieces, motherfucker. You got no party anymore. Yeah, fuck you. Okay, anyways. So, okay.
Tell us how you really feel. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, don't worry. I'm just warming up here, boy.
So yeah, incredibly disappointing.
Yeah.
It's funny because everybody was kind of walking around with their heads low on the 29th. But funny enough, a lot of the independent media, which is what everybody should be listening to. You can't, this is like just from the election, clearly.
Yes.
Like if anybody had a doubt in their mind, clearly just listening to the election on the CBC.
Well, of course, the CTV. Oh yeah.
Yeah, obviously they're heavily liberally biased because they get paid by them. It's not a mystery.
Yeah.
You don't bite the hand that feeds you. So
sure.
Especially after you have a political party saying we're going to defund you, you're obviously going to go the other way, and they've always been the other way anyway. So that's aside the point. But a lot of independent media journalists and investigative journalists really started to do their job, and I'm talking about like journalists from the 60s type of idea, where
of course,
something happened that was pretty drastic and dramatic in social structure, and they said in their posts, not all is lost, don't worry about it. There was huge gains, and there was huge gains, like gigantic gains. Now there's some crazy shit that happened. Some of the shit I can't even believe happened, but there were big clusterfucks, and they all sort of kind of happened at the same time. And as much as I don't want to give kudos to the Liberal Party, they definitely planned it and took advantage of the opportunities that they got.
The red machine was working really good, man. You got to give, you know what? You got to give the red machine credit, because you know what? They even said that they're way more refined than the conservatives, and they proved it right there, right? So,
well, there was a big, like I could count on my hands like at least 8 things that occurred that were not ideal. One was right from the beginning, which was Polyev positioning himself, against Trudeau, and then making all his arguments against the man, not the party.
Yeah,
right.
His handlers for the first 2 weeks, they even admitted it. They his team there, Doug Ford came on and talked about that, but there was some truth to that but he just wanted his buddy in there. But anyways, the campaign manager. But long story short is on that, he started gaining momentum in the last week of this, and that's why the polls started shifting. Now, the Trudeau strategists were very smart, so they used American strategists, basically from the Obama campaign. They always use them, so did Trudeau, and they're out to win. So I think I'll let you finish here, but the Conservatives moving on, and I'll get into my spiel when I talk about why I'm pissed off, is that they're going to have to use that strategy, win at all costs. It doesn't matter what you say, because once you get in power, you got the keys to the mansion, man. And these fuckers got the keys to the mansion, and they can do whatever they fucking want. So I'll let you take off with that, okay?
Yeah, so there was that aspect, which I'm not even talking about when the election started getting called. I'm talking about way before Trudeau even resigned. Yeah. It was against Trudeau, and when he resigned, which is what everybody wanted him to do.
Oh yeah.
I don't think that they really saw the playbook where it was like, okay, he's resigned, now what? And it's they built up so much momentum coming up to that they lost all their momentum, and then they had to build it back up again. during the election, which was very, very difficult.
Okay, but what's the coincidence though that okay, listen, I understand what you're saying, but Trudeau steps down, they appoint Carney to step in there, they have their little fucking leadership campaign. He gets in there.
They appointed.
No, okay,
right?
but
that's another thing.
Yeah, but my point I'm trying to make is what is the odds? Okay, that Trump, all this shit happens. This is all timing. So guess what? They're sitting there going, I had a 20-something% point lead, and all of a sudden it falls apart. So was this by design? I don't think so, because this just came out of fucking nowhere, because Trump ain't that brilliant, okay? He's not going to start a trade war just to have Mark Carney in fucking in power in Canada, right?
Right, exactly. So, I think I think the Trump thing was just, he's just a man. He's not a goddamn genius. He's not a genius. So I think it was a huge fucking flaw.
Yeah.
I think it was a gigantic flaw that happened. He blabbed his mouth.
Yeah.
Being a New Yorker, and he fucked it up.
Yeah.
Now it wasn't just him. There was a lot of things that happened because all of a sudden all the boomers, elbows up.
Oh yeah, that's exactly. You got it.
And it actually really, really fucked Poilievre's campaign.
Of course it did. I mean, that elbows up really made me sick.
And then
right?
he kept on pushing it. 51st state. And there's a meme that says, everybody's so worried about the, Trump turning us into the 51st state.
He paid Mike Myers $50,000 to come and do that fucking commercial when they skated on the ice, eh?
There's a lot of shit. Like there was that was part of their propaganda campaign.
Of course
that's part of any politician's campaign. Any politician's going to try and pull up.
But I can't believe how stupid fucking people are in Canada. So the baby boomers, there's I looked up the facts. There was 9.2 million baby boomers in Canada that were eligible to vote. Now there's your big fucking number, and they're all brainwashed. Okay, and they're very comfortable with the Liberals. Because I'll tell you a little story. My mom, when she told me when she met my dad in the 50s and the 60s and Diefenbaker and all that, they said they're scared. The baby boomers are scared of when you talk about the conservatives, because the Liberals are always associated with good times and work and stability. So all the baby boomers, that's all they think of. We're going to go with what we know. And that's why they always vote Liberal. But when that generation dies off, the Liberals will be like the NDP and Jagbeat. Rest in pieces, Jagbeat, you cocksucker. There you go.
Well, there's
vote conservative.
Yeah.
The exclamation. So, there's a few other things that happened too. One was, I think during election night, this was a big one, which was the PPC. Yeah. They instead of doing, and this is the craziest thing to me though. This is crazy to me, and I know how much you love her, Marco. But Elizabeth May actually. A Green Party, the most fucking she actually used her fucking brain. Yeah. And she pulled a fucking move that was smarter and more practical than any of the conservatives could have done.
Well, elaborate on that. Which movie are you talking about?
He collapsed 100 of her MP candidates. Yeah. For her higher cause, which was the Liberal Party being elected. She did not want anyone on the island or in Vancouver to vote Green because she knew she wasn't going to win.
Yeah, exactly.
So, I mean, how fucking smart is that? No, meanwhile, Maxime Bernier is running around Canada saying that the Conservative Party is not an actual conservative party, and running a campaign against them when he knew. Yeah. And on multiple podcasts, he was actually told, "Hey, listen, the odds that you're going to actually win your own seat in your own riding are very, very slim." Yeah. So it's just like, what the fuck were you doing?
Well, it's all contrived, man, because it's all coming out. So that candidate, that one that used to work for Doug Ford there, he was talking, the bald-headed fellow that had cancer, I forget his name, he's got an Italian name, that he won his seat, and he was on the media yesterday, and he let out the truth, and everything was conspired, everybody went against Poilievre. Listen, even with all those independents that ran in Carleton on his ballot, Okay, they hate the elites can't stand Pierre Poilievre, and you know what? I'll tell you right now that he will be back. Okay, because I'll get into that my part when I start talking, but. This is crazy what's going on. I've never seen every part of the machine turn against one candidate, and it was him. They didn't want him in there, man.
Yeah. Ford had a big push toward that too. He really tried to verbally sabotage.
Remember his brother? Remember he was smoking crack with the gangsters? You know what? So I think Doug Ford's kind of going the way of his brother there.
Well, in pollsters,
come on, Doug Ford, start smoking that crack there. It's good for you, kid. It gives you lots of vitamins. There's lots of vitamins and bananas in that crack. You go ahead there, Doug.
Bananas. Bananas. In pollsters today, yesterday, they printed an article saying that they really feel like. Well, Ford put out a comment saying, he's really disappointed in Poilievre for losing.
Oh fuck! And then, what an idiot! He's a goof.
Yeah, and then the journalist didn't even insinuate. They basically said, how about, because Poilievre lost his riding, how about Ford for the conservative leader?
Yeah, I know. I was going to talk about the exactly. Yes. Yeah, you got it.
So you look at that situation, and you look at the sabotage that occurred on the ballot in just Carleton, and then you look at
90-something candidaents. Is that even fucking how is that legal?
90 candidates,
and they expanded the borders of Carleton.
Do you know how much it costs to put your name on the ballot?
Yeah,
$25,000.
Yeah. So who the fuck did that?
Well, somebody
there
funded
was over $1 million in.
Okay, so the truth will come out. That's my point. They're going to find out who the one. No, but they're going to find out. They'll dig in because Brock and the Conservatives are really good at doing their research and digging up the dirt. They will find out. Trust me, and I bet you they're not saying nothing right now, but they're going to find. This will all come out that somebody basically paid for those. They sponsored those candidates to go on that fucking ballot. But here's the other part of this. Carleton. And with the new fucking guidelines, with all the polls, with the what do you call it, the constituents and the borders, they expanded the borders. So Carleton changed. So Carleton wasn't the same. So Poilievre had Carleton for 20 plus years, and all of a sudden they changed the borders, of the riding. Yeah. And guess what happens? There you go. And then somebody pays. How do you have 90 candidates on a fucking ballot? And guess, you see where Poilievre's name was on that? Go look at the ballot. Remember like how with our voting structure where we're employed? That's why people want their name on the top, because they see your name first and they vote for you. That's why Poilievre was buried. He was buried down at near the bottom in the middle. Okay.
Yeah.
So they're not stupid, right? But you know what?
No.
What we got though. But I agree with everything you're saying, Sash. But you know what? We're gonna let Ryan. We're gonna hand it over to Ryan. Then we'll intercede with Ryan, because we know we will. They're right, Bonito.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, you're funny. Okay, Ryan, why don't you take it away there? You could suck up the oxygen, because I got lots to say here.
I'm just absolutely I don't support the Liberals or the Conservatives. Yeah, that was clear in my last episode. But anyway, regardless,
traitor.
I don't know how the fuck you can ever vote Chrystia Freeland back in.
Exactly.
Who fucking in their right mind thought that was a good idea?
Mr. Speaker. Okay, there you go. Ahead.
Anyways, I'm also not happy. I don't support Pierre, but I thought that fucking ballot was ridiculous. Come on.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I'm scared, man. These fucking WEF puppets are not going to make anything cheaper for us.
No, they're not. I mean that this will resolve itself, and I'll even give you, like I said, a little of the astrological. Like I said, remember we were talking about our predictions, and Ryan,
I predicted a liberal minority.
Yeah, you did, and I mean, I was hoping for a conservative minority, but it didn't work out that, because, like I said, the cards were stacked against them. But what I'll say,
in Ontario just have too many seats.
What I will say to you though is about the astrological weather, and I watched a whole bunch of different astrologers. Like I said, some said, but it was so, they said, all of them said the same thing, it was so close. But what they said was, they looked at Carney's chart and they said he had a lot of bad stuff coming up at his chart. And they said, even if he got in, he would not last. He would not be in power very long. And I'll tell you, I'm glad that we have a minority. Right. And like I said, I'll let you finish and then I'll get in. Then I'll give you my spiel, because things could change rapidly in the next year. Let's put it that way. Okay.
What's the chance of Pierre and the Bloc forming a government?
Well, they would, because they could have, but the problem is the numbers, right? For the so now the numbers. That's why I was disappointed, because the numbers looked good with a combined the Bloc and the Conservatives, and then all of a sudden the numbers started changing and they started losing. The Conservatives started losing seats. See, this is that whole thing. Is everybody?
So what was the final tally?
I don't think it's 160. No, it's 169 to 144, 23-1. So right now, I mean, my point is this. I'll get into it in my spiel, because I got a whole bunch of stuff to talk about. I'm going to talk about the numbers and all that, and what's going on. How Poilievre lost his riding in Carleton, I've been watching about the party, because they have to have a leadership review, because their Conservatives do that after if they lose, and most of the time you're one and done. But I'll tell you, like I said, with Poilievre, like I've been following him for a long time now. If they get rid of Poilievre, I'm done, and I never probably will vote again, because they're going to have to start fresh, because he's the face of the party. Okay, he's got some shit to learn, and he's admitted it. Because
he's been in fucking politics for 20 years.
No, but he was never the leader. Okay, this is not the thing. Is when you're a leader, Ryan. So that's what I'm trying to tell you right now. Is that's why they gain momentum. So the pundits were talking about how even Thomas Mulcair, he was saying that if he had 2 more weeks, he goes, this whole script would have been flipped. That's why they call the 35-day election. Okay, because his handlers handled it wrong, and they all admitted it. They're saying that Poilievre said, fuck it. He goes, I'm not going to listen to the handlers. Then he started he started speaking his own truth. And then people started listening to him, because handlers, like I said, they're no good. That's why he started closing the gap, because he started resonating with everybody. And then they started doing it the right way. The problem is the first 2 weeks of this election is what lost it for him. His handlers, so they're going to have to, my point is, and he has to learn, listen, okay, Andrew Scheer, okay, everybody's scared of him, okay? When you look at him, all they look at is a right-wing radical, a Bible thumper, okay? They look at him as like abortion's coming. So the Conservatives have to change. If they want to learn something right now, and if Poilievre gets back in a by-election, so he has to ask a senior minister right now,
somebody to step
down. Okay, now when they do this leadership review, they have their caucus and they look at it. If there's a couple people that don't want him, they have to have a leadership contest, and he has to run again. And then Mark Carney has 6 months after they file the writ, after the 2 weeks, and it's been certified that he's won the election. He has 6 months to call a by-election. Okay, so Poilievre's not going to be in the House of Commons for at least 6 to 7 months. So there's a lot of shit that they have to sort through. But I'm trying to tell you, if they get rid of him, I'm done, because he was the face. They got to start from ground zero, because they're going to lose all their support, and they know it. So right now, everybody's
just like the NDP.
Yeah, well, okay, that's a different story with...
that's what I want to get into.
Okay, but we will. But it's okay. So with Jagmeet, okay, so listen. So now they don't have party status, okay? Jagmeet just destroyed it. So this is what I'm trying to say to you about... Now, when we have a non-confidence fucking motion in the House of Commons, so they have to pass a budget within 60 days. Okay, so now you're going to have... So the NDP has to move away. They can't have a coalition anymore. So you have the NDP, the Bloc, and the Conservatives. They can take down the government right when they introduce the budget, if they want to. So now the NDP can't do this anymore. If they do it, they're not going to be a party ever again. Okay, so that's what all the political pundits are saying. So now if all three of them, they have more seats combined than the Liberals. And the Liberals are so fucking arrogant that they just think, oh, this is going to be like Jagmeet saying, no, it's not. Because if they want to survive as a party, even Thomas Mulcair, all of them said it, the NDP has to go against them now. They can't be with them anymore.
No.
So there you go.
He sacrificed his career for dental and whatever health care
Those aren't even
right.
Those aren't even passed. People don't understand. They think that those are legislation and bills that have not 100% been fully implemented, and people don't understand it. He sold it like they are. And anybody that's got the dental, guess what? I've been doing some research on that. When they go to the dentist, they think it's fully covered. They go, "No, you're not." Okay, people don't know. Go do your research. Jagby knew how to sell this bullshit. He wanted to make it look like he did something. Yeah, he tried. Okay, anti-scab legislation. I'll give it to him on that one. Okay, there were some good things he was trying to push, but by sacrificing his own party and holding Canada hostage, look what he fucking did. You know,
I'm not for what he did. No, but I totally think he fucked up.
No, but this is beyond, in my opinion, this is like treason, okay? There is no motion on the books. There's nothing in law. But if somebody could do that, the Attorney General should be able to fucking basically get him out of the house. I mean, you can't do that. How does one person hold a country hostage? That's why I can't stand Jagmeet Singh. He did it for 2.5, 3 years. It's fucking bullshit.
And then
his party.
Yeah, well, I mean, he also admitted it. I really don't give a shit. I don't really think Jagmeet gave an absolute fucking shit about his party.
No, he didn't. No.
Yeah. So he did it for reasons, self reasons, centrist reasons.
Let's see where he ends up in the next 6 months.
Hopefully in jail. Hopefully behind bars.
I don't know. Like Ryan, he's not going to sell fucking cars.
No.
What is he going to become a blueberry farmer? No,
he's going to be on a board somewhere.
Exactly. He's going to be on a board somewhere because that's what he was promised.
Okay, so this is something interesting that they bring up. Yeah. They talked about, guess what? He's going to get appointed. They might appoint. Remember, like Gordon Campbell? They're saying that Mark Carney and Trudeau and the boys are going to appoint him to some cushy position somewhere. You're going to see him like a minister driving around in a limo in England somewhere they like him.
They fucking owe him, man.
Yeah, well, of course, because look what he did. He's one man that took the hit. And he admitted it.
And then the rest of the fucking supporters of the party took votes away from the Conservatives. So
I mean, I think this is really fucking. This is my whole point.
Jagmeet and Elizabeth May propped up the Liberal Party. That's what 100%. They did. That's what they did, and they did it. They did it calculatingly, and they did it. I'm not going to say that it's brilliant because it's like It was smart what they did in the most backhanded way against Canadians.
Yeah.
Against Canadians, because that's who suffers. Is us.
Yeah, exactly.
We're the ones that fucking suffer, right?
And I think everybody right now in Canada. Here's the problem. Like I said, this in my preamble with if they get rid of Poilievre, I think there's a lot of Canadians now because this is almost a record turnout. Look at the percentage of people that voted. And here's another thing. By the way. They broke down 80% of the numbers for the Liberals were immigrants and landed immigrant status. Okay, and if you look at the chart of the last 10 years they all voted Liberals. That's why they've been stacking the deck. That's why they've been pumping immigration. So they
That's
can
why they wanted to do it in the States too.
This net zero. This is what I'm trying to say. You'll have nothing and you'll be happy because they have nothing. So that's what they're trying to turn us into a fourth world country, not a third world country, right?
Well, how about the turnout? Apparently there was 61.8% of Canada turned out to vote. 61. That's it.
Yeah, out of 27, out of 28 million eligible voters. Okay, so how many? Yeah. So that means about 5 million people stayed home and didn't vote. They didn't. So this is everybody's disgruntled. Once you look at what's going on and the aftermath and this autopsy, and you start watching the news and all this shit starts trickling out, people are going to go, you know what? I don't want to fucking vote ever again. That's how I feel right now. I'm pissed off.
You know what? There are a lot of people. There are a lot of people that actually went out to vote. Yeah. Okay. Take a look at our electoral system. A lot of people actually went out to vote that were boomers and older than boomers. Yeah. And the lineups were so long that they didn't want to stand in line. That's my in-laws did that.
Yeah.
You know what they did?
Bonito? They went out to vote and the lineups were so long they couldn't stand in line. Their fucking hips were hurting.
Yeah, they went to old folks' homes and collected votes at the site.
There you go. They did that. They did that with the BC election as well, and that is being under investigation right now too.
Okay, guys, you know
So
what?
now,
Go ahead. No, so
Go-
what I was
going
going to what I was going to say is, why don't we each take a turn now, because we're wrapping this up. Is that we made our predictions in the prior episodes? Why don't all three of us right now? I'm going to hand it off to you, Sash, and then we'll go to Ryan, then me. Why don't you make a prediction of what's going to happen in the next 6 months to a year? And when they get back to the House of Commons here, let's make a prediction. Everybody, give us what do you think is going to happen?
Okay, well, I don't know. I think it's difficult to say. It just depends on it depends on how these guys are going to play it and how they're going to spin it. Because I have a feeling that there's going to be a lot of buyer's remorse with the population in a Liberal vote. There's a ex-Liberal MP that came out with a statement talking about Carney and how really it is really all about China. It's not.
It sure is.
It's really not about the states. They made it about the states and Trump and everything. And Trump is doing, as much as I don't like his person. I don't like him, but he's trying to get something going in a very rough way, whereas China is playing it like a chess match. Yeah. And so he's going about it the wrong way. But I think there's going to be a lot of buyer's remorse when we start to realize, when everybody who voted Liberal starts to realize that, we're actually trying to be made the 24th state of China. Yeah. Or the 24th province of China, not the 51st state of the United States. Yeah. And when he starts implementing, chapter 1 and chapter 2 and chapter 3 of his fucking book that he wrote, which told you exactly what he was going to fucking do to you. It's not a fucking mystery. It's not a mystery, right? No, they
boomers don't fucking care, man.
No, they don't.
They don't care, man.
They don't, right?
They don't care, man.
They don't. It's a funny thing,
Dr.
but
Ryan.
it's an odd thing, but they don't.
Have some
butter,
Dr. Ryan. Sorry,
they don't see it. So when he starts doing this and unrolling this, there's going to be a lot of people that are going, well, hold on. If there was a better way, and a way that we could, we could reduce emissions and make everybody a little bit richer. And I don't think they're going to. No party's going to be able to fix the housing crisis.
No, they can't.
Feel the housing crisis. No. But if there's a way that we don't have to go down this road of what he, in his own words, says extreme suffering, then why the fuck would you go down that road?
Yeah. Well, that's what Poilievre was trying to stop the bleeding. Okay, exactly what you were saying. He was not stupid that you can just turn this around and fix overnight. But like I said, his plan was to stop the bleeding. Exactly what you just talked about, housing and everything else. This whole thing to dig yourself out of what the Trudeau and Carney have created is going to take 10 years. 10 years. And you know what? They haven't even appointed their appointed their to the Senate. They have 10 they can appoint, and he's going to appoint them now. They're all going to be liberal left-wingers, and you cannot good luck whoever gets in next to try to change that, because you got to get through the Senate, man.
I'm hoping that I can't count. We can't really count on the Bloc, because
you can't.
The Bloc are separatists, and they will always 100%.
Why doesn't every fucking province have a separate fucking?
Oh, we're gonna get into that.
You wait, Ryan.
Alberta.
You wait.
Alberta. They're gone.
Alberta.
They're done.
Yeah, if they don't get what they want, and she's made it very clear.
Oh, she has.
So the
They've
Bloc
already started.
The Bloc will only do what benefits them. And if there's a Liberal bill that comes up and it benefits them, they'll side with it.
Of course,
and if there's a conservative bill that comes up with them, they'll side with it. But they don't want to be a part of Canada ultimately.
No.
So we can't trust the Bloc anyways. They want to not be a part of Canada.
Well, they're screwed because
you're going to get Alberta in there too. If the Carney government does not treat the West and their resources,
he won't. He's not going to, because she's already laid out 9 She's already laid out 9 conditions. He's not. Listen. She sent the lawyer. The lawyer went to fucking the States yesterday to talk to the Republicans. Listen, this is already on the move, man. She already knows what Carney's going to do. She's just not saying it. She's already sent the lawyer. So they already said this. So it's not the 51st state of America. What they want to do is become a commonwealth inside of Canada, and they want to be able to do business. So they want to have a business union with the United States. So the lawyer already went down to the States yesterday. So I'm going to tell you right now, there's a referendum coming in Alberta. And guess too bad that we have EB, because I would like to join them and mow there in Saskatchewan. And guess what? In the east of Canada can go fuck themselves, okay? And they get all their transfer payments and the wealth from the west, and we get nothing because they don't want proportional representation because they know that we'd have the power here in the west. So
listen, when the Alberta decides to separate and it becomes real clear that that's what they want to do,
it's going to happen.
And Ontario and Quebec are going to be shitting their pants. And actually, the East Coast will be shitting their pants too.
Doug
because
Ford's going to turn to the crack like his brother.
They'll finally realize that their way of living, their cost of living is going to go fucking way.
They're done. And then everybody has an individual debt. See, the thing is, when you leave the Confederation, and if they get their way, Alberta's laughing because once they can pay their own debt off because they're going to be fucking wealthier and everybody. You know what? And everybody's going to want to flock to Alberta. Everybody. Including myself.
If you got any cash laying around, you might want to buy a little bit of property right now.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's rural Alberta, though. There's some cheap places to go, but I'm going to tell you right now.
Do you guys really think the U.S. would let Alberta be autonomous?
Yes, no, but that's that's why the lawyer went down there.
You really think they would do that?
No, but hang on, right? Hang on, because it continues from there, right? Because it comes in waves. So they're going to, if that's the way it goes, okay, ultimately the U.S. They've got resources, they have oil, they've got lots of things too, okay? The point is that they are looking at China as an enemy. Yeah, and we are looking at Carney is looking at China as an ally.
Yes.
He wants to ally us with China and get rid of the States because he's a fucking Chinese operative. He really is, ultimately.
100%. The whole Liberal Party's in bed.
The whole Liberal, that's right. So basically what ends up happening is you bring up a really good point, Rye, because it's like, well, do you really think that the States is going to want to do? Well, you know what? All they want to do is prevent China from coming into Canada and bringing itself down in one China concept, bringing itself down and in. They've got Taiwan to worry about. They've got Japan to worry about because the Chinese government is going into the Philippines. It's going into Vietnam. It's going into
Africa.
Yes, it's absolutely.
They're in Europe. They're everywhere. Yeah, the Roads and Bridges Initiative. They're everywhere right now, right?
And land companies. They've bought all our fucking lumber They bought almost all our lumber companies and just shut them down.
Well, listen, they got the shitty weapons and they don't even have the toys. You know what? Actually, let's go. Let's have a war with them because you know what? Half their stuff doesn't fucking work on their knockoffs. They don't even know what the Americans got the toys, and Trump already said it. And guess what? JJ, go fuck yourself. Because you know what's going to happen? Fuck off. The toys are coming out, and they're the good ones.
But nobody's congratulated our new leader. Xi Jinping.
Xi Jinping.
Nobody congratulated him.
Oh, you're very good, Xi Jinping. Oh, you're very good.
I know.
Go fuck yourself.
So the States wants to. It really is all about China. This whole thing is all about China.
You watch for a long time.
They will just say taking over Canada is in their best security interest.
It is.
Prevent China from taking it.
It's absolutely. So we're stuck in the middle, and unfortunately we've elected a government that is aligned with China, and we've got a U.S. president below us that is incredibly rough around the edges. He's got no diplomacy whatsoever.
No.
A bone in his body, and it's unfortunate because what he's trying to do is actually trying to help us, but he's doing it in a way that is turning the whole world.
Okay, breaking news, boys. Breaking news on the ticker tape. Developing story. Trump says Carney to visit White House within days. So the motherfucker's not even, honestly, the writ hasn't even been certified, and he's already going down there to go, what's going on there, Donald?
Well, we're going to we'll see what Donald has to say to him. This is going to be interesting. This is why I'm saying I think that there's going to be huge buyer's remorse.
I hope he scares
because if we start aligning with China,
I'd arrest him if I was Trump.
Yeah, me too. I just put him in a jail.
I wouldn't let him back. Fuck you. Yeah. What are you going to do about it, Canada? Fuck you.
You want to rumble?
Alien.
Come on, you want to rumble? Let's go.
What would we do about it?
Nothing.
I know, right?
Exactly. But you know what, guys? Like I said, this is all stuff that's going to fall. But you kind of gave, yeah.
But my prediction is that the Canadians are going to have buyer's remorse when they start to see his book played out, and they're going to be really fucking choked. Like So that's my prediction.
Okay, we're right on there. That was a good synopsis there. Okay, there, Ryan. Why don't you give us your prediction? What's going to happen? In the next 6 months
the Liberals will predict the Liberals will get a minority. They're going to have a hard time passing anything.
Yep.
And then we'll probably go back to the polls in a year.
Yep. I can see that happening too, Rye.
Yeah. So
it's going to get bunged up. It's going to be like a fucking constipation in Parliament because
it's just going to be just a shit show.
Okay.
Yep,
so
absolutely.
So when they go, so my prediction is this: when they go into committee here after the 60 days, Carney has 60 days to release his financial statement, and he's got to go into committee. And Brock and the boys and all those savage conservatives that won their seat, they're harsh lawyers, like prosecutors. This is where the fun's going to start. So this is where I'm going to tell you, never mind what's going on with the states. Let's just leave fucking Trump and all this bullshit out of the way right now, because that's a distraction. Right? It's a distraction. Let's talk about what's going to happen here with our political system. This is where the fun is going to start after 60 days. Okay.
Yep.
So that's the starting. So all the dirt is going to start coming out on Carney, and like Brother Bonito said, the buyer's remorse is going to come out. Okay. This is where we're going to tie it together. And Dr. Ryan, you're right. I'm going to go within 6 months, everything's going to start to turn against the liberals again in Carney. It's just going to be like Trudeau 2.0. And then my prediction is within 18 months and even sooner, we'll be going back to the polls. So we're going to leave it at that, folks, and we're going to see what's
hold on. I've got one more question, Marco. I've got one more question.
Yeah.
Okay. What do you think? Do you think that we are going to have, as a result of this, like what Brian said, what I said, what you said, I think we're pretty much in consensus with that. Like, people are going to have buyer's remorse. It's going to be, if he starts pushing a Chinese agenda and if he starts pushing what's in his book, people, are going to start getting uncomfortable. So do you think that we're going to have another assembly like we did with the truckers convoy? Do you think people are going to be like, "Holy fuck"?
If it gets that extreme, but like they just proved it though in Freeland and that where they shut down the bank accounts. So they think, like I said, I think Trudeau was a schoolboy compared to what Carney's going to do, because
Carney's fucking ruthless.
He's very vindictive.
Oh, he's ruthless.
He's so vindictive. He is, even if in his speech he was mocking Poilievre.
I know.
Buddy, the guy's got no class, and he's just putting on this. This is like his honeymoon phase right now, with always winning, and he's trying to say all the right things.
He's a globalist.
But exactly what you just said. People are going to see the real. It will come out. This is what I'm saying. So give it. Like I said, give it after the 60 days when he has to disclose about Brookfield and how much he's actually worth.
Oh,
okay. So this is what I'm trying to say is.
It's Freeland's shot.
It's
to
a blind trust. The report.
He might be in so much trouble.
Yeah.
You never know. He might be in so much trouble.
But they're going to tell him how much he's worth.
What Trudeau did.
Okay, listen.
Which was
he's
freeze
worth
Parliament.
They figure he's worth a conservative estimate. He's worth $300 to $400 million. Okay?
Yeah.
This is what I'm trying to say. People don't know. So the blinders are going to come off in the next 3 months, okay? Unless there's not a World War III. I think people, like you just said, there could be trucker convoys. People might finally go, this guy's a fucking nut bar, okay? And there's no more, and guess what? No more gas cars. He wants you know where this is all going. So you know what? He can go fuck himself, okay?
It's crazy.
My friends are moving to Mexico. You know that?
Are they?
Yep. I know a bunch of guys working remotely in Mexico right now.
Wow.
Okay, folks, this is we've been a very good discussion, but Uncle Marco's getting ready to pack his bags and move to Alberta, and when I retire there. But anyways, okay, there, my brother Bonito. Thank you very much for coming on to the show there, and we will continue, and we'll probably see you at that stankin', like Dr. Ryan says, that stankin' place of appointment. Oh yeah, sucking in the 70s, folks. You guys have a great day, man. Take
Thanks,
care.
Guys.
Okay, bye-bye.
Okay.
Six nuts. There you go.
Old acquaintance be forgot and never brought to mind. cup of kindness yet for old lang syne. And there's a hand, my trusty friend, and gives a hand of thine. We'll take right good willy wot for old lang syne. For old lang syne, my dear, for old lang syne, we'll take right good